Right,
Told you.
Southampton, who was basically a soap opera coming into this season, giving away everyone that had talent, but apparently not everyone, because they're in second place. 13 points goal differential plus 7. And number 1, it's the Blue Devils, not a Duke, but a Chelsea, with 16 points and a goal differential plus 12. Chelsea is in first place in the Premier League. That is your table update. And with that, we will throw all of these tables back to Noah. Noah, I advise you duck.
Okay, well, finally I have to talk. No more French tables, no more dinners. We are going to get down to some opinions, no more facts, because, let's be honest, it's the opinions that make this show what it is. And we are going to start, of course, with quick picks, as always, and get into the Champions League, where we have a couple of great games. Just a heads up, there were 6 games that I wanted to do this week, but we do 5. This week has been one of the better weeks. It looks to be. Of course, it hasn't happened yet. But we had to get rid of Atletico Madrid against Juventus, which is just an amazing matchup because of this excellent week. And we start with Roma versus Man City. That's a great matchup. Of course, Roma coming off a dismantling of CSKA Moscow. Manchester City lost barely to Bayern Munich. This matchup has implications, big implications, in who will probably end up second, as Munich is the favorite to go through first. Jake, Italy versus the Premier League. Who do you got, and why?
Well, Roma and Man City, of course. This match is in which group of the 8 groups? It's in Group E that has Roma, Bayern, Man City, and CSKA Moscow, as I like to call them, CSKA Moscow. Bayern's 3 points, Roma 3 points, Man City 0. Who do I give it to, though? I think it's going to be a draw here. I hate to be that guy. But, no. I do hate to be that guy, which is why I'm not going to predict a draw. 2-1 to Manchester City. I like what they've been doing as of late. They got off to a slowish start. But after 0 points right now, I think they're going to be more desperate, and I think that's going to show. They're going to want it more, and they will get those 3 points.
You know, Manchester City just came off the tie with Chelsea, which was a pretty solid result. But Chelsea, of course, they tied with Schalke. But this is a really tough matchup. I think this is one of the better matchups we'll have. I think this is the best team in Italy. Versus, in my opinion, still. I know Chelsea's been great, but I'm still picking Man City to win the Prem. Gotta stick with the preseason pick. I'm gonna be that guy. So you hate to be that guy. I'm gonna be that guy.
Do what you gotta do.
I'm going with a 1-1 draw here. It's tough for me to really say that one team looks definitively better at this moment in time than the other. I believe they're also playing in Roma, which I think gives Roma a great shot to be able to win this game. But I think Manchester City, like you said, they really want this. They need this. Going and losing the first 2 games would be devastating to their chances after a tough Champions League year last year, going out in the group stage. But I think Roma manages to keep them at bay and get a point here, which would be big, very big, of course. But that would also favor Manchester City. Getting a result in Roma, getting a tie there, would really favor them, especially if Roma struggle against Bayern Munich and Manchester City are able to win at home. I like a 1-1 draw here. Well, moving on to the next group. Oh, this voice, though. This voice is killing me. PSG, Barcelona. That's another good group. You got Ajax, you've got PSG, you've got Barcelona. And then you've got, I think, Apoel, which is, not quite at the same level. But PSG, Barcelona, interesting matchup. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, of course, taking his fitness test. Whether or not he's going to be 100%, probably not. Whether or not he'll play, he'll probably play. But still, lots of questions surrounding that. Thiago Silva, of course, still out. Jake, Barcelona last year managed to make it all the way to the quarterfinal before being upset there. PSG lost in the quarterfinal as well. Out of the two quarterfinal teams, who do you think takes home 3 points, or do you think they're going home each with 1?
Well, interestingly enough, again, I have my table sort of right in front of me, my table, standings on my phone, and a refresh to last year. So, complete non-sequitur, but fun fact, apparently Spartak Moscow got 0 points and a goal differential of -17 in their group. So, good try, Spartak Moscow. Also, good try to PSG, but you're going to cut them short here. Barcelona will win 2-1 against Paris Saint-Germain. Again, they are normally perennial superpower in France, but PSG is just not living up to potential right now. Meanwhile, Barcelona is number 1 in Spain. Their rivals have ceased to falter, but they have stayed atop the table.
They did draw in their last game, so they did, I guess, falter.
Yes, but they're still in first place, and that's something Real Madrid can't say as of right now.
Yeah, sure.
2-1 Barcelona over PSG.
Well, once again, I like home field. They are playing at PSG, Parc des Princes, and I think that makes a big difference for PSG. I think they pull off the draw. Wow, I'm being that guy today. I'm just the guy who's picking draws. Again, 1-1 draw, and of course, when you get the draw away from home against a good team, it's a favorable result. I think Barcelona goes home. Obviously, they would rather get the win, but I think they'll be rather satisfied with the result, stealing a point at PSG.
Yeah, quick little just rundown of what standing looks like in Group F. 4th, Boal, no points. 3rd, Ajax, 1 point. 2nd, PSG, 1 point. And 1st, Barcelona with 3 points.
I think for PSG, a tie here is they're going to need a tie at least, because they have the tie against Ajax, which isn't enough. A tie here could be bad. Ajax may actually make it out of this group. It wouldn't surprise me if Ajax was able to make it out of this group.
There's only one group that saw all ties. Would you imagine that it was Group G? Schalke, SP Lisbon, Chelsea, and NK Maribor all have 1 point.
I would like to give my dad props for picking Schalke to tie with Chelsea.
Good job, Noah's dad.
Yeah, German teams, they've been unpredictable thus far. And I think that's going to add a whole nother layer to this year's Champions League. But we're going to go now to the self-proclaimed world favorite Premier League, Chelsea versus Arsenal. London versus London. This is going to be a lot of fun. Jake, it's not one of your London teams, but it's still rivals, I guess.
What do they call it? The North Central London Derby? The battle for Big Ben?
It's going to be a great matchup, Jake. And you being the London expert, I guess, because you're a fan of Tottenham. What do you think happens?
What do I think happens? Well, after what I saw from Arsenal, where is this game being played? To be honest, A, I'm not sure, but B, it doesn't matter. Because the way Chelsea has been playing has been unparalleled.
Except for the tie against Schalke.
Anyone else, except for...
But
of course,
they're playing...
They drew against Manchester City.
They're playing at Stamford Bridge. So, yeah.
They're playing at Stamford Bridge. Okay, well, then that just tells me all I need to know. Chelsea's offense has been on fire. I think Laurent Koscielny is really Arsenal's only hope. Koscielny is going to need to be a defender that really steps up and takes charge. And I think that's just not going to happen. 3-0. Chelsea wins at Stamford Bridge.
I like Arsenal to play okay here. Obviously, they're not the favorite by any means. They are definitely the lesser at this point. They've had their back line has been so decimated. Injuries to Debussy. You had, of course, suspensions. Callum Chambers, of course, got injured as well. It's just been so many things happening at once for that defense, and it's gonna hurt. And when you're going up against a guy who just cannot seem to miss in Diego Costa, you're in a bad spot. That team has been clicking on all cylinders. Besides that game against Schalke, I don't see Chelsea losing this game. I think they get a big win to continue to reaffirm their status as the best in the Premier League, at least right now. I think they win this one 2-1. I'm going to give Arsenal a little bit of credit because they have seemed, even in the games they've lost, to at least put up a fight. I mean, even the game against Manchester City, a game where most thought Manchester City was the favorite, they managed to pull out a draw there. I like a 2-1 win here for Chelsea. So, we go on now to Everton, who's been pretty bad at the start of the year. A big disappointment, I've got to say. And then Manchester United, a disappointment as well, but who got the win last game. And, we haven't seen that much of Van Gaal. We'll see how that team continues. But a big chance for them, to get a win over a well-known team. Jake, this is my favorite team. Tread carefully.
Okay. We're going to tread carefully. How carefully? Because I've got to be honest, I'm a little tempted with my man Roberto Hernandez. I feel like I totally botched his name.
Roberto Martinez?
Yeah. I called him Hernandez.
Nice try.
That was for you, Blake. That was for you. Man U, Everton, where's this game being played? Goodison Park or Old Trafford?
Old Trafford.
Man U has certainly just been on a roll here. But Everton, I don't know if anyone saw it. I almost saw it, but fell asleep because it's really early here. But I'm sure Noah was able to watch it live. At the Merseyside derby, Everton and Liverpool, what a screamer. Still Jagielka in stoppage time to salvage 1 point. There's momentum coming into this game from both sides. And I think this is where we start to see Everton start to creep back closer and closer, ever so slowly. Everton with a surprise 2-1 victory.
Here's my problem with Everton and giving so much credit to a win over Liverpool. It's a win over Liverpool. If you have such a problem with Arsenal's defense, how can you like Liverpool? Liverpool's defense has been debatably worse than Arsenal's. And they haven't played well this year at all. They're going into Manchester United, who are coming off a win. They're starting to click. They are going to be without Rooney. But when you still have Falcao, Robin Van Persie, and Di Maria, it helps a bit. I think that this defense is much improved, actually. And I think, though they've had a lot of injuries to center backs, I think they've managed to fill it relatively well. Given the fact that they lost three or four center backs to injuries, they haven't done too horrifyingly bad. Besides the game against Leicester, where it was not pretty. There is no excuse for that game. But it's just been a lot of injuries over and over again. It's not easy to deal with that, but I think Manchester United comes out with a victory here. I just haven't seen that much from Everton. Sure, they got the win over Liverpool. Kudos to them for that. But how Liverpool's played, it's not as big of a accomplishment as it once was. And Liverpool's defending just as porous as Manchester United. I'm going Manchester United here, 2-1. And that brings us to the last matchup. The one we ditched Atletico Juventus for. And not because I think this is actually two better teams, but because of the, I guess, to a certain extent, implications. AS Roma, Juventus, top of the table, both of them tied at the top of the table. Goal differential separating them. And now they get to play in Juventus Stadium. It's a great matchup. Jake, who goes to the top of the table?
Well, first of all, I just want to point something out. I was curious to see, when does Tottenham get to play Manchester United? Noah, are you ready?
Sure.
7 a.m. in Old Trafford on December 28th.
That's my birthday?
Really, the birthday gift for Noah. Tottenham plays Man U on Noah's birthday, December 28th. Also, happy Kwanzaa to all those celebrating about a day under 3 months on the nose premature. Juventus Roma. This is a great one. These are the two best teams in Italy according to the tables. I think this is where Juventus' age might just catch up with them. I like Roma here. I think that